All right, looks like everybody's in the room. Jamal, thanks for joining. Appreciate you jumping on.
Absolutely.
Just a reminder to everyone, please stay on mute unless you're asking a question. How about John Boyle? Would you like to lead us off?
Sure, happy to. Jamal, just first off, welcome to Seattle. And what was your reaction to this trade? I know it's something that's been talked about a long time, just to have it take place. And what do you think about coming to Seattle?
Well, man, first off, man, before we get started today, I definitely want to, show my love and support. I want to say we need to arrest the murderers of Breonna Taylor. My thoughts and prayers are with her and her family and many others. And we are fighting for justice. But to answer your question, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be a Seattle Seahawk. When I got the call, honestly, I broke down in tears of joy, a lot of mixed emotions. I'm going to miss a lot of guys over there. But at the end of the day, man, this is my calling. This is where I need to be. And this is where I was placed to be. Friday, I'll never forget, the day before I got traded, I was really stressed. I went out with my family and some of my loved ones and my brothers. And, they could see it on my face how stressed I was because I didn't know where I was going to go come Tuesday. And, I prayed on it. I prayed on it hard. And I asked God, to place me where I needed to be, whether that was to go back to New York or whether that's to be traded. And this is my calling, man. I'm here to stay. And I'm excited to be a Seattle Seahawk, like I said, and I'm really overwhelmed, but at the same time, man, it's so surreal to be around a great organization like Seattle, and to be coached by legendary coaches, Hall of Fame coaches, playing with Hall of Famers, from Russ to Bobby, KJ, Bruce Irvin, Quandre Dick. The list goes on and on, man. I'm just excited to be here. I'm here to help. And, I can't wait to get out there in front of the 12s, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Corbin Smith.
Hi, Jamal. Welcome to Seattle. You've basically played last 3 years every position on the field for the Jets, deep safety, box safety. I think you even maybe played nose tackle, and I just missed it on film. But looking at, growing up before you got to the league, were there any specific players that you tried to really model your versatile game after?
Yeah, man, I always answer that question the same way. Anytime someone always asks, I had a lot of guys that I kind of watched growing up because growing up I played running back. I was on the opposite side of the ball, due to my father. Always played offense, but I always played on the other side as well, both sides. Through Pop Warner all the way up until, college. I always looked up to guys like Troy Polamalu, obviously, Brian Dawkins, Bob Sanders, the Ryan Clark's a good friend of mine, Sean T. I mean, it's so many guys that I looked up to as football players. Willis McGahee was my favorite running back at the time when he was at the U. And I'll never forget when he blew out his knee. I kind of cried for him. You know what I mean? So it's so many guys, just football players that I looked up to. And I always wanted to kind of like create like that one person of all those guys. You know what I mean? So I always took bits and pieces of their game and try to add it to mine. But I have so much respect for those guys that came before me. And there's so many guys, like I said, man, out there that I look up to, or that I try to take bits and pieces of their game and try to add it to mine.
Thanks, Jamal.
Absolutely.
Greg Bell.
Hi, Jamal. Welcome. What role do you envision in the defense? What have they told you, and how you might play off Diggs and play off Wagner? A lot of options there. What have they told you as a sketch of what you might do?
Well, man, at the end of the day, I'm here to compete. There's no starting role for me. I have to earn it, and that's what it's always been about for me. You don't just come into a situation and expect to be there. There's a ton of talent out here, a ton of guys that's fighting for those positions. And at the end of the day, no one really has a starting position yet, man. Everybody's competing. That's what training camp is for. And the best 11 will be out there. So, hopefully I'm in the rotation. Hopefully I'm starting. And that's my mindset going into it. At the end of the day, I know what I'm capable of doing. And, you know, I can do a little bit of everything. So whatever these guys ask me to do, like I said, I told Bobby the other day, you know, we talked for quite some time in person, and I told him, man, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you guys. I'm here to help Russ. I'm here to help the whole team, man, because the ultimate goal is to get to the big dance, and I'm just here to help, man. So whatever they need me to do, I'm going to do.
What do you see the chances are of this being a long-term arrangement in Seattle and you staying beyond your contract?
Well, you know, man, that's not something that, I'm really focused on. I'm obviously, you know, those things will take care of itself. Again, I'm here to play ball. You know, Mr. Snyder and Coach Pete Carroll, these guys brought me in, and you know, I'm here to play. I'm here to play football, man. I'm here to help those guys win, and continue to win, should I say? And you know, like I said, we'll let those other things take care of itself.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Bob Condotta.
Sorry about that. Hey, Jamal. Yeah, thanks. Welcome to Seattle.
You read a lot. I see you back there, man.
You talked about Friday being a big day for your future. Did you really feel like something was happening immediately, or was there some reason why you felt like this was going to happen all right now? Or
well, man, like I said, Friday, I did not know. You know what I mean? A lot of discussion was, you know, talked about through the week from my agent, you know, telling me a couple things from what he's heard. And, you know, again, man, I was just very overwhelmed. I didn't know where my future was going to be, but wherever it was going to be, that's where I was meant to be. So, you know, like I said, Friday was a hard day for me, and I prayed on it, and it's crazy. I overslept. I slept in through, you know, the next day, and I had like 5 missed calls from my agent. And, you know, when I got on the call, he was excited. He gave me the rundown of what possibly could go down. And later that day, it went down, and I was excited, man. I'll tell you that. I was excited.
And when you say it sounds like you're sort of deflecting any question, I guess, about your contract and stuff like that. But you view this as a place you could stay for the next decade.
Absolutely, man. Oh man, if the plan is to retire here, you know what I mean. That is my plan. But obviously, you know, those things handle themselves. When all you have to do is just go on the field and perform, do the right things on and off the field, and those things will take care of itself, man. So I'm very excited to be here. I know the rest of the guys is, you know, excited to have me, and the coaching staff and everybody else. So, again, man, we'll worry about that when the time comes.
All right. Great. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Chris Francis.
Hey, Jamal. Thanks for doing this. Someone described your game as a player that likes to hunt. I wonder how you would describe that role, and whether you think you'll have the freedom in the Seahawks defense to do that.
That's a great word to describe me, man. Anytime I hit the field, I'm hunting. You know what I mean? And it's how I was always raised, as far as, you know, on and off the field. You know, if you want something in life, you have to go get it, man. No one's gonna give it to you. Nothing is handed out. Everything is earned. So that's a great word to describe me. You know, whoever said that, man, I salute them. So that's pretty cool, man.
And the Prez nickname, I assume you're going to keep it. There's already T-shirts, I think, out there in Seattle.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
That came from LSU, is that right?
Yeah, it was. You know, a lot of people say that, you know, I made up the nickname. I really didn't, believe it or not. There was an article that came out, and it was after a game a while back. I want to say like my freshman or sophomore year, and somebody was just joking. Basically said he was like the president when he came out there, and he kind of took over the game. And I just thought it was pretty cool, man. And I just, you know, put a little spin on it. Obviously, I spelled it P-R-E-Z. And, you know, just put a little flavor and a little juice on it, man. So I enjoy it, man. I think a lot of people enjoy it.
All right. Thanks, Prez. Welcome.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Brady Henderson.
Jamal, how's it going? Welcome to Seattle. I know there was a report that when you requested a trade, there was a list of teams that you had on your desired list. And I'm just wondering why the Seahawks were one of those teams.
Why not? You know what I mean? That the teams that were on there, were, and this is not taken away from other teams out there. I just thought this was the best. These were the teams that were the best fit for me. You know what I mean? I have a lot of respect around the league for a lot of teams and coaches, a lot of players as well. And I just felt like, you know, Seattle was a first-class organization from top to bottom. You know, when you think about coming into a situation like this, as far as being drafted into an organization with Russell, with Bobby Wagner on the other side, Bruce Irvin, so many guys that came before us or that's still here, KJ, man, these guys have done it and they've seen it all. They've been in the big dance. They won the big dance. And that's what it's about, man. Just being around a lot of Hall of Famers, a lot of potential Hall of Famers and a lot of great football players. But not only that, just great guys. You know what I mean? Having a great locker room, that brotherhood that they talk about over here, that's what it's about, man. So I knew Seattle was definitely the perfect spot for me. I just couldn't come out and say it. So I'm excited to be here, man.
A lot of people, I'm sure, have seen you on the field, but what type of personality are you bringing into the Seahawks locker room?
You know, a lot of fun and juice, man. A lot of energy. You know, I'm a fun guy. But when it comes down to ball, we're talking ball, and we're going to get down to business. But I'm a jokester, man. I like to have fun. You know, like I said, I love great guys. I love guys that, you know, have relationships off the field that are doing special things in the community, you know, marketing wise, like Bobby and Russ. Those are two guys that I plan to learn from and hopefully, you know, get some nuggets from those guys as far as what they do off the field, man, because it's unbelievable how they're killing the game right now. And I salute them.
Thanks, Jamal.
No problem.
Joe Fan?
Jamal, you're obviously active on social media, so I'm sure you've seen plenty of the chatter about the deal. A lot of conversation about 2 first-round picks is way too much to give up for a box safety or a position that isn't of value like a corner or an edge rusher or a left tackle, whatever other people have deemed the more valuable positions. What is your reaction to that? I mean, do you feel like that does a disservice to your versatility?
Man, at the end of the day, man, you have to realize you know, everybody's going to have an opinion about something, right? You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I have to go out there and continue to do what I do, continue to learn. And, you know, that's what matters. Because at the end of the day, people that really know ball and watch ball and know me, the whole box safety word is just it doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? Because if you just turn on the film, I do a little bit more than just stay in the box, right? So, you know, I'm excited to go out there and compete. At the end of the day, opinions is going to be like everybody's going to have their opinion. So it's going to happen. I can't control that as long as I can just control what I do on the field and what I do off the field. That's what matters the most.
And then just a quick follow-up, you know, given that you made it clear you wanted out of New York, when you get with your new team, I mean, is it important to you to reiterate to them that, hey, I'm all in and ready to go in this new opportunity. I appreciate the opportunity and let's get this thing going. I'm all in.
Yeah, I think these guys know, man. They know. You know what I mean? And I've had, you know, quite some conversations with a couple guys, not all of them yet, but these guys know, man. I'm here to play ball. That's just how I am. You know, I'm not a distraction in the locker room. I've never been in trouble in my life, you know, growing up. It just never happened. And anybody that was my teammate or that knows me, they will tell you, man, I'm far from a problem. All I want to do is win and bring the best. And like I said, I'm a energy guy. I'm a juice guy, man. I love to have fun. And you know, that's just who I am, man. And I'm never going to change who I am.
Jamal, thanks, man. Welcome to Seattle.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Art Teal.
Hi, Jamal. Have you been to Seattle before? And besides that, what have you heard about Pete Carroll and the locker room culture here?
I've never been to Seattle, man. Never. When I did get the call and I you know, I was excited. I was running around the house and, you know, there was a video came out. I was playing dominoes with my guys and, you know, smoking a cigar, just having fun. I honestly sat back and I realized, I said, man, I've never been to Seattle. Like, you know, I'm a boy from Carrollton, Texas, man. I'm a country boy. So never been to Seattle. First time, obviously, was flying up. And when I landed, you know, it was quite the scenery, I should say. It's very beautiful out here. People are really nice, believe it or not. And you know, I'm just kind of like finding my way around, man. I don't know too much, but I plan to, and I plan to be here, and I'm excited to be here.
And the second part of the question was about Pete Carroll. What have you heard from other players around the league?
Oh man, just nothing but good things. Pete's a guy that, you know, the first time we had a conversation, he said, "Man, I'm gonna let you be you. He's not gonna change me. He's gonna help me. He's gonna coach me." And that's what I want. I want to be coached. I want to be coached hard. I've always wanted to be coached hard, and I've been very fortunate from high school all the way up until leaving the Jets with Denard Wilson, man, being coached by some of the top defensive back coaches around the league in college, Coach Corey Raymond. I mean, it's always been hard coaching ever since my father growing up. And that's what I want. I want to be coached hard. I want to be told if something's not right, let's fix it. Let's get it done, because everything has to be precise. Believe it or not, they didn't tell you guys, but we were kind of figuring out what I wanted to do with the room as far as being on a Zoom call. So I had to make up the bed. I had to do a little bit of everything for you guys, man. So I'm very particular as far as my details, and I want to hit it on the nose and be perfect. Because everybody, no one's perfect, but everybody strives to be perfect, man. Thank you, brother.
Then Arthur.
How's it going, Jamal? Welcome to Seattle. Kind of my question is, you know, obviously the Legion of Boom was a, you know, big thing in Seattle last decade. I guess how much of an impact did kind of their play, their style of play, you know, kind of mold your game, and how excited are you to kind of have the opportunity to be a part of the, you know, kind of the retooling of the team? Obviously, they're invested a lot in you with the 2 first-round picks. Just yeah. So what's kind of your thoughts on how the LOB has impacted your game, and you know, just them believing that you could be a missing piece to their kind of renewed defense?
Man, first off, I want to say I respect every guy that was in the Legion of Boom. I used to watch those guys from Earl to Chance to Sherm, just all throughout college. After every game, you know, Saturday we play, and then Sunday here comes NFL football. Man, I used to watch those guys and used to be inspired by the energy and love and passion that they played with. And I always had that passion and energy, so I admired it from afar. And these guys, they play so hard, and that's what it's about in this building. They're all about winning, and you can't ask for nothing better, man. So I have so much respect for those guys. But, you know, again, their chapter is over with, and we have to, you know, as a defensive group and as a defensive back, you know, group, we have to create our own legacy, right? And like I said, I have nothing but respect for those guys. Hopefully, you know, I'm gonna reach out to Cam very soon. I haven't talked to Earl yet and Sherm, but all those guys have my respect, man. And I have nothing. I take my hats off for them. All we can do is control what we can control and write our own story and go from there, man. I'm excited to, you know, play in front of the 12s, that loud stadium. They say, you know, it's very similar to my college days as far as, you know, Baton Rouge fans. So I'm excited, man, and I can't wait to get started.
Thank you.
No problem.
Curtis Crabtree.
Hey, Jamal. Welcome to town. Pete Carroll's got a big history as being a strong secondary coach. How excited is it for you to pair with somebody like that who has worked with so many good guys through the years, and his cover 3 scheme and all of that, and how that could complement your game? How do you kind of view the whole picture?
I strongly feel 100% good about as far as Pete putting me in the right positions to make plays, man. You know, he's a guy that's been around ball for a very, very long time. He's very close with a guy named Coach Ed Ogeron. And I heard a lot about him from Coach. And, you know, it was my last year at LSU, and it was the same. We had the same practice, you know, philosophy from Pete. You know, competition Tuesday, turnover, you know, Thursday, all of that, man. So I'm excited to learn from him, man. And like I said, I'm very fortunate to be in this situation. I'm very fortunate to have coaches throughout my whole career, as far as, you know, starting from high school, having great coaches that taught me the game and taught me a little bit of everything. And you know, everybody comes with something different. Everybody coaches different, but I'm excited to, you know, see how Pete is, man. He's full of energy, and I love that. And obviously his history, you know, it speaks for itself.
Thanks, Jamal.
Thank you, buddy.
Omar Ruiz.
Hey, Jamal, your energy and passion is pretty obvious. You touched on it just a little bit ago about playing, you know, at CenturyLink Field in front of the 12s. Just kind of, if you can elaborate on your anticipation of playing in such an energetic stadium with the reputation that those fans have.
Right. No, as a defensive player, there is nothing like having the crowd behind you. I'm going to tell you that, because we feed off of them just as much as they feed off of us, believe it or not, man. So just to hear the 12s going crazy, man, I would be lying to you if I said every night I haven't looked up since I've been traded, you know, a couple games, man, and just listening to everybody going crazy. And, man, hopefully we can have the fans, you know, in the stadium due to, you know, COVID. It's a very tough situation right now, and, you know, everybody has a lot of opinions about it, but everybody just has to be safe. Hopefully we figure this thing out and we can have the 12s in there with us, man.
And my follow-up, Jamal, would be, you know, obviously you've accomplished a lot already in your early career. Where would you like to improve? Kind of where do you see yourself kind of taking your game to that next level?
Everywhere, man. There's so much knowledge that's in this building, man. I never, you know, say I'm not going to work on something. I always work on the fundamentals, man. I'm always about technique and fundamentals and working on my eyes, because you can always, there's never a day you cannot, you know, get better. You have to get 1% better and win each day. That's just how I live. So there's so much knowledge I can learn from Russ as far as the offensive side, how they think. And Bobby, KJ, Bruce, Quandre, there's so many guys here that I can learn from and that I'm going to learn from. Just as well as those guys learning from me. You know, we're just bouncing off ideas, and I think that's what makes this game very beautiful and special.
Last one I got is Bobby mentioned that you guys met in Monaco a couple years ago.
Yeah.
What were your impressions of that meeting and your takeaways from meeting him for the first time that day?
Yeah. The first time we really met was the first time I made the Pro Bowl, and we were in Orlando. We had a Jordan dinner. That was the first time I met Bobby, and I've always admired Bobby from afar. Had so much respect for him, the best in the game. So smart, so fundamentally sound, and you know, he's all about ball, and I respect that so much about him. You know, he's a hell of a leader, and like I told him, man, I said, you know, we joked about it, man. He said, man, a lot of guys, you know, last year the guards was getting up on him, man, and kind of getting to him kind of quick, and he was like, man, leave me alone, man, go focus on someone else. So he said, man, I'm going to take a little, you know, I'm going to take a little bit more attention off of him, and I'll, you know, obviously get some attention as well. But man, I'm excited to play with him and plenty of other guys. The secondary is so talented. You know, Dre has done a hell of a job. Coach Pete has done a hell of a job with those guys, and bringing in, you know, younger guys, and just having so much energy and swagger and passion, man. It's all on the defensive side. And I told the guys yesterday, man, it's going to start with the defensive, the DBs. Like, we set the tone. Anytime we step on the field, we have to set the tone, you know? So I'm excited, man. You know, Bobby is a hell of a guy. And you know, I couldn't, we talked about it, man. I'm sorry to keep running on with the question, but we talked about it, you know, a while back, and saying, you know, what if we played together? You know, it's honestly how I would describe us linking up and me finally being a part of Seattle it's a cheat code, man. It's really a cheat code.
Thanks, Jamal.
Thank you, buddy.
Good luck, man.
Tim Booth.
Hey, Jamal. Welcome to the Northwest. I know you're focused on being here in Seattle now, but last week you had some pretty candid comments about your time with the Jets. I'm just wondering why you felt it was important to say those things and express publicly what you were feeling about the whole situation there.
Well, man, you know, listen, I have nothing but love and respect for a lot of those guys over there in that organization. I wish them well. I really do. I know a lot of people might, you know, think it's not coming from the heart, but it really is, man. And I'm pulling for him. Ashton Davis reached out to me. He's been reaching out through the whole process, and you know, he's the new rookie safety that they drafted. A hell of a player. I'm a big fan. And, you know, I told him, I said, man, I'm here to help you. I said, he wished me well. He said he wished he could play with me, but I said, man, I'm here to help you. I know the defense in and out. Any questions you have, bro, I'm going to help you. You can hit me on anything. I don't care what I'm doing. I will take the time out to help you. And I mean that. I really do. And, you know, obviously Marcus May and Brian Poole is still over there. Blesson, Art. There's so many guys that I'm going to miss, man. And you know, Marcus is finally going to get the respect he deserved. You know what I mean? And obviously, you know, he had a couple injuries that kind of set him back, but I'm focused on being a Seattle Seahawk. You know what I mean? I'm really, you know, I'm at peace with it. You know, we have to move on, and you know, it's part of the business. A lot of those guys and coaches reached out, and you know, they said they're going to miss me and they love me, and it's the same back, man. I'm pulling for those guys over there. I really am. I have no hate in my heart towards anybody, to Joe, to Adam Gase. It doesn't matter. I really wish them well. And like I said, man, I'm excited to be a Seattle Seahawk.
Thank you, Jamal.
Thank you, buddy.
Nico?
Thank you. Jamal, welcome to Seattle. You've already touched on this a little bit, but I want to kind of spin it differently. Obviously, the culture here with those great safeties that you talked about, Chance and Earl, brings a lot of expectation, as well as whenever you are moved to a team by giving 2 first-round draft picks. How do you think you'll handle that pressure of having that expectation so high?
No pressure, no diamonds, man. You know what I mean? That's just my mindset. Like, you can't focus on the pressure. You just got to handle what you can do on the field and off the field. Ball is ball. You know what I mean? It's not going to change. It's a new situation for me. It's new teammates. It's a new city. But at the end of the day, man, I'm here to play football. I'm not focused on trying to prove anybody wrong. If anything, I'm trying to prove to myself of what I'm capable of doing and doing more. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to keep elevating my game each and every year. And that's what it's about. You know, just always, like I said earlier, 1% better each and every day, man. So win the day, attack the day. And like I said, no pressure, no diamonds, man.
And obviously, you just mentioned that transition. How mentally ready are you for that when you have to add on the whole COVID testing and, you know, having to do Zoom meetings, things that are so differently this season?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's tough, man. I would be lying if I said it's not tough. You know, not being in the building and being around a lot of the guys and watching film together and working out together. It's tough, but at the end of the day, man, we have to do what's right. You know what I mean? The whole world is going through this whole pandemic. It's tough. It's a tough situation. You know, sometimes we have to, you know, lose things that we love just to, you know, take time to get back. You know what I mean? You want to cherish these moments as much as you can. Like I said, we got to stay safe. We got to take the right precaution and do the right things so we can play and have a season. So, you know, that's what we're doing. It's been quarantine week for us up here and just being smart as far as where we go, who we're around. Because at the end of the day, man, I think we have a great plan at hand as far as attacking the COVID. Everybody's been doing a great job going to, you know, get the tests and, you know, just quarantining and being respectful of others' space. So, man, we don't know what the future holds. At the end of the day, we have to focus our mind as we're having the season and we're getting ready for the season. But we, at the same time, we have to be safe, man.
Thank you, Jamal.
Thank you, buddy.
Sorry about that. AJ McCord.
Awesome. Thanks for doing this and welcome to the Northwest. So you touched on it a little bit, but this pandemic is obviously changing the way you do camp, changing the way you meet your new teammates. Right. So can you walk us through, first off, just the timeline of finding out you got traded, what it's been like to get to Seattle, and then how you've been meeting your teammates in the midst of a pandemic?
It was crazy. Like I said, you know, Friday was a hard day for me. Prayed on it. And, you know, obviously got traded. You know, called on my guys that I grew up with. I have 9 guys in a group message that I love them like they're my own. well, not my own, should I say. I love them like we're really brothers. But I grew up with the guys and you know, from elementary all the way up until high school. And you know, just was so happy, was so relieved. And we went out and had dinner. You know, obviously you've seen us, we were playing dominoes a little bit, having fun, smoking a cigar, and just living life, because, you know, you never know when it's your last day, you know what I mean? And I lost, well, me and my boys, we lost one of our other guys that we went to high school with. You know, he passed not too long before I got traded, and it was very tough. And I always made that promise with those guys, and we all did, as far as, you know, we're gonna cherish these moments, and we're gonna live each day like it's our last. So obviously that was a fun day. It was real tough. Mr. Snyder, it's so funny. He wanted to fly me up Sunday morning, and I was like, hold on now. I just got traded. You know, let me tell my family bye. I had a family birthday that Sunday, and, you know, I wanted to hug my nieces, you know, because they're like my own, and you know, I wasn't ready to go yet. Everything was happening so fast, and I was so overwhelmed. I had like 200, you know, text messages. I still have like 100 left, and I'm still getting back to people. Other people hitting me still to this day. So it was fun. You know, it was a pretty good flight. A lot of mixed emotions. I took a nap, and I woke up knowing that I was going to be in Seattle, and got here and, you know, did the physical, and was loved, you know, since the day I stepped into the doctor's office, and everybody was rooting for me. Everybody was happy that I was here, and I just felt at home. So like I said, I'm excited. You know, meeting the guys is kind of like, hey, how you doing? You can, you know, elbow wise, Coach Pete, he's not even getting close to you. He's going to be at least, you know, 7 to 8 feet away. But it is fun. You know, it's a tough time what we're going through, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of people that's going through worse things out there in life. You know, whether that's cancer, whether that's dealing with anything and everything that's worse than what we're going through. So right now we just got to take precaution and be safe, and wear your mask, and, you know, just be smart, because at the end of the day, we do want to play football, and we do want to have a season, and we do want to see the 12s in the stadium. So we'll see where it goes. I'm definitely, you know, I'm open to everything, and I'm always taking precaution and being safe.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Appreciate
Michael Sean, Dugar.
It's good, Jamal. You talked a little bit about, you know, knowing Bobby for a little bit. What's your relationship like with Quandre?
Oh man, Quandre, man, I've known Quandre. If you honestly go on Google, you might see a picture of a guy like with no facial hair, and he's young. He's probably about, I want to say 17. I was going to the University of Texas, you know, obviously looking for the school I wanted to go to, and Quandre was there. I was always, you know, I admired him and Kenny Vaccaro, the guys that came before me, Earl, all those guys that was there, Coach Akina. The history of defensive backs was really in Texas, right? And you know, Quandre wanted me to come very, very bad. He was my host. Believe it or not, he was my host. We had a great time on 6th Street. I'll never forget it. We had a great time, man. And man, me and Quandre, you know, have been close ever since. Even when he was in Detroit, we talked literally every day. He would hit me up and say, man, I like that play you made, or I'll hit him and say, man, you balling out there, or whatever it is. We always talk, and he's like a brother to me. And we've known each other for a very long time. And we always talked about, man, what if we play together, man? And I'll never forget when he got traded to Seattle, I tweeted him, but I did call him, and I said, man, listen, because he was in the airport. And I said, man, you went to a hell of an organization. He was like, man, I know, man. And then he started balling, had the picks and whatnot. And then look where we are now. You know what I mean? He was one of the first people that I called when I did find out that I got traded. I'll be lying to you if it was Saturday, and my agent was like, man, don't tell anybody like that you're getting traded to Seattle. And I was like, all right. Then I called Quandre. I said, man, it might come through. It might go through. So I was excited, man. And Quandre, I was like, man, I'm gonna hit you after my massage, man, if it goes through. He was like, man, this is a long massage. I said, man, I haven't heard anything yet. We're waiting on Mr. Snyder to go through with the paperwork. So when it finally happened, man, he called me. He was excited. I was excited, man. And man, I'm excited to play with him, man. I tell you, man, we were chopping it up yesterday after meetings, and he was like, I was already telling him, man, no, you stay in the post right there, man. if it's an over route, man, I got it, man. Don't even worry about it, man. We're going to get under the hook. We're going to take away this. So we're just talking ball, man. And he loves ball. I love ball, and we're very passionate about it. So I'm excited to play with him.
Appreciate it, man.
No problem, man.
All right, one last follow-up from John Boyle. We'll wrap it up.
Yeah, sorry about that. Couldn't unmute it. You tweeted about dedicating this season to Bryce Strong.
Yeah.
I know you've had a relationship for a little bit. Just, I'm curious kind of what the history there is, how you got to know him and what he meant to you.
That was a tough day for me. Obviously, you know, the trade happened and it was my last day home. Man, that brings chills to me because it was I got a call from Frank Wilson. Frank Wilson was a running backs coach at LSU at the time when I was in school. My freshman year, he recruited me and he reached out. I didn't know Bryce as much. I heard his story and he reached out and, you know, he told me that Bryce was a big Seattle Seahawks fan and that he's a big Jamal Adams fan. And all he wanted to do was meet me and, you know, kind of take a picture, man. And it was tough making that call because Frank, I'm getting emotional about it because it's very tough, man. Frank, he told me that, you know, he wanted to, you know, meet me, obviously, like I said, and he wanted to say kind of his last words and kind of, you know, wish me luck, right? And, you know, hearing that, it broke me down. I broke down in the car because this is what I do it for. I do it for not only my family, my wives, my family, but I do it for people that's under me, the kids, and that look up to me and want to be like an NFL superstar or be like me. And I was in that same boat. I was once that kid, and that's why I'll never turn down a kid as far as a picture or autograph because I know what it feels like to be that kid. I know what it feels like to be that kid that gets turned down by his favorite player in a football league or NBA or whatever it is. So when I did make the call, it was tough seeing him on a, you know, breathing machine and, you know, blood in his teeth and mouth. And he didn't know it was going to be his last day. He didn't know that, but his family knew, Frank knew, the doctors knew. And all I could say was keep fighting, champ. You know what I mean? Keep fighting, and I'm praying for you. I'm a fan of your story. I'm a fan of you, of how you've battled this cancer. Told him he was going to beat it, but the tough part about it, the call, was knowing that, you know, it was his last day, and that really touched me, man, because during his last day of suffering, going through that and fighting, he wanted to meet me. You know what I mean? And, you know, I didn't take that light, man. It hit home, and I have nothing but love and respect for his family to reach out and you know, make his dream come true, make his wish come true. And I told him that I'm gonna dedicate this season to him. And I told him that, you know, I'm always be thinking about him, and that, you know, I was excited to be a Seattle Seahawk, man. And I just told him, man, just whatever it is deep down, you know, I told him I loved him, and I told him that, you know, I'm always thinking about him, man. So that was a tough call, and I appreciate you bringing that up.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
No doubt.
Jamal, thank you. And thanks everyone for joining. I appreciate it. And we'll see you next week.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks,
Young lady.
Thanks, Jamal.
Young lady. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
No problem.